The only thing more precious than time is the life that's slipping away. I'm William Shatner. Tonight, true stories of desperate situations and the people who fight to change them. We begin on April 5th, 1992, in Mobile, Alabama, as Stacy Purdon stopped by to pick up her close friend, 15-year-old Nancy Woods, at the Woods family home so they could go shopping at a nearby mall.
Stacy came up, and Nancy and Stacy, and they want to go riding. And they was laughing and cutting up, like they usually do. They always have a good time together.
Nancy came in this world, she was ready. She took on the world full of gusto. This kid, a 1 in a million child.
Have you went and got any more slices for a break? Not really, I got a couple out. Mom picked out this ugly, I don't know what it was. Traffic's slow.
Yeah, it is.
We need to go ahead.
Brent and Kathy Gallagher were driving south on Interstate 65, 100 yards behind Stacy's car.
On this particular Sunday afternoon, there's cars, but it was not like bumper to bumper.
I wonder what the lots are going for over there.
I have no idea. I looked in my rearview mirror. I got this guy behind us.
Look at this guy.
He's driving like an idiot. There was a red car coming up at a high rate of speed, driving very recklessly.
He's passed.
Well, I'm gonna slow down. Okay.
This is a young boy, hot rod car, joyriding. Brent said it's nuts like that to get people killed.
Yeah. See, now I don't know why that fool back there wants to cut in like that. He's driving back there? Now what?
He started coming in my lane, so I just automatically got in the emergency lane. It was like a feather in the wind, flipping across the interstate. Brent slammed on brakes, pulled over, and my thoughts were, you know, whoever's in that car could not be alive. And then my second thought was, what's he going to see when he gets down into that car?
When Stacy Purdon's car was clipped by another car at more than 60 miles an hour, it tumbled out of control, landing upside down in a drainage ditch along the side of the highway. A passing motorist, Brent Gallagher, and his wife, Kathy, immediately pulled over to see if they could help.
It was almost a nightmare during the daytime, because I just saw a car do the most incredible thing I've ever seen in my life. The goriest thoughts were going through my mind.
You all right?
Fortunately, she was conscious, didn't seem to be bleeding from anywhere. I said, hey, just be still, stay still. Because I've always heard, keep a accident victim still.
Try to get the guy out of the car, go help him.
The boy who had hit the girl just looked at me with a stare like, you know, maybe he was in shock. And his exact words to me was, look at my car. And I said, forget your car, please go down and help my husband. He did not speed off. He did not drive erratically. He drove the way he should have been driving in the first place.
Go get help.
There was only a handful of people who really got out of the cars and helped. There was a man who pulled up behind us. He had a car phone, and I told him to call 911.
Don't move, not move.
Alan Upchurch also saw the accident and stopped to help.
You know, you see a lot of wrecks, but when you see a car upside down, the blood gets a-flowing. Somebody's hurt.
She was very shaken, and then it's almost as if she just all of a sudden came to and said, where's my friend?
So you had somebody with you? Oh, God.
In a car accident, I figured she could have been thrown 100 yards, who knows? So we're looking everywhere.
We looked both ways, down the ditch there, up and down the interstate, over the fence towards the service road.
Foot, man, we got a foot right here.
I reached down there to grab her ankle to see if she had a pulse, and she moved it. You know, it wasn't like a muscle spasm. I mean, she moved it good. You know, I said, this girl's alive. You know, we need to get the car up.
One guy said, no, hey, man, we can't move the girl that's in the car. And I said, we got a human being underneath this car. Let's do what we got to do.
When I grabbed her ankle, I felt like that gave her hope. She knows somebody's there to help her.
Come on. Go. Come on.
We thought we were going to lift this car, get this girl out. You hear of people, one man lifting a tractor off his baby.
Get it up. We got to get the car up. Don't lift that. Come on. 1, 2, 3. Come on.
So we pulled. Well, the mud was our downfall because we were sliding and slipping. What I saw, I guess I'll remember as long as I live. She was flush with the mud in a split position. I just knew she was dead.
Oh, man, try to ease it down. Try to ease it down.
Another guy on the other end said, we can't hold it. To me, it was like we let her down. Is she going to give up now, or is she going to hold on?
Come on, man, hold in there.
The first thing that went to my mind, you got to get that mud away from her face. I mean, it's obvious she can't breathe there.
Could you lay still? Don't move. I kind of moved in front of the girl so she wouldn't see. She's fine. Just lay still. Don't move.
I just moved down. I felt her shoulder, and her hand was there by her shoulder. I checked her pulse. It was real weak. And I thought, don't give up now. You're too close to give up now. And at that time, you could hear the sirens and all coming.
Within minutes of the call, units from the Mobile Fire Department arrived, led by Captain Roy Wallace.
I noticed a man squatting, holding her arm, and he looked up at me and said, I just lost her pulse 1 minute ago. There was no time for no fancy equipment. We had to get down and lift the vehicle the old-fashioned way.
Lisa Bishop was the first paramedic on the scene.
Those guys walked up there and picked up that car like it was their sister or their mother laying there.
One of the pedestrians just yanked her out of sheer excitement, and I caught her in mid-flight to support her cervical spine and laid her back easy. She's done had a rough enough trip. I don't think she needed to be yanked around anymore.
Good airway.
They drug her out, and there was no life whatsoever. They were digging mud out of her mouth, out of her nose. I thought her backbone had been snapped in half because she was like a wet noodle.
My shoulder, I knew it hurt, and I knew something was wrong with it, but I was worried about her. I said, please tell me she's not going to die, you know. And the woman said, we just don't know.
Paramedics radioed ahead to Spring Hill Memorial Hospital, less than a quarter-mile away, and spoke with emergency physician Larry Ennis.
A rather excited voice came on the radio and said, Dr. Ennis, we've got a trauma arrest and we're at your back door. And by the time I'd hung the microphone up, the doors were opening and in rolls this gurney bearing this mud-covered body.
I started crying, standing there begging her, because I knew that I was going to lose her. I took it personally.
Fix the midpoint on the eyes. Got any pulses?
I got a faint radio.
We really thought we were working with someone who was dead, but the fact there was a pulse there just turned us on. She began to move around a little bit, and very quickly her pupils became reactive. These were all very good signs. One of my standard questions when people come in the emergency room is, were you wearing a seatbelt? I already know the answer. People that wear seatbelts don't come to the emergency room.
Come back, girl. Come on.
We got a little blood pressure back. Her neck was okay. Her chest x-ray looked okay. Didn't find any signs of other major injuries, so this apparently was almost a pure suffocation, a pure drowning.
Starting to get some spontaneous respiration.
The mud probably protected her from any major crush injuries of the vehicle itself, but it also kept her from breathing. She's still unconscious. She's comatose, but at least we've got some vital signs back on her.
Nancy's father, Philip Woods, was briefed about her condition as soon as he got to the hospital.
They told me that she was underneath the car for 5 or 6 minutes. That even if she recovers, we don't know what kind of condition her mind's in, because you only can live so long without oxygen, you know, or damage to your brain and all that kind of stuff. She may not be nothing.
11 years and all. Love you.
As soon as she heard about the accident, Nancy's mother, Johnny, went to be with her.
Come on. You can't allow yourself the luxury of going nuts. I remember the nurse telling me, talk louder, you know, really talk to her. That's the most critical thing right now, is getting her to respond.
Look at Mama.
Dear God in heaven, we thank thee for this privilege of meeting here in Nancy's behalf.
The whole waiting room just completely filled up with people.
Heal her.
There was always more people gathering. This kid, everybody was her friend.
And dear God,
The doctors were honest. She may be there for a month, might be years, may never come out of it.
through surgery all right, and we can be with her.
Anybody that believed in God, whether they were religious or not, was holding hands and praying.
Monday morning, 10 o'clock, it was just like somebody turned her back on.
Yeah, she don't. She does, don't she?
I didn't see her until about 3 days later. I really expected her to still be on a respirator and comatose. And the nurses told me she's been moved out to a room. That surprised me itself. And I went out to the room, knocked on the door, and I found 3 kids bouncing around in the bed laughing, and I had to ask which one was the patient.
It's neat, I mean, you could wear that.
Although Nancy suffered no broken bones, her short-term memory has been affected.
Everybody wants to know what happened, and I just can say what I've heard. Kind of makes me feel stupid sometimes that I don't remember.
You wanted to come to the wrong place for some good clothes, girl. That's what he's saying.
Nancy's best friend, Stacy Purton, who was driving that day, broke her collarbone.
Nancy's changed. She has mood swings now, but we'll always be friends. And just like if I ever needed her, I could call her at any time and she'd be there for me. And if she knows I'd be there for her any time.
I think we've been grounded 90% of my life.
Yeah, but then we always get out of it.
After high school, I want to start college nursing school. Because the wreck, I'd like to be there if somebody ever needed me. You know, just help them out. I don't know. I mean, I guess I feel like I owe somebody.
1, 2, 3.
The driver of the car that hit them subsequently pleaded guilty to leaving the scene of an accident and was sentenced to 6 months probation.
When I get in the car, or any car, especially mine, I won't get in without putting on a seatbelt. Because, I mean, if I would have had it on, it wouldn't have never happened.
Oh, my goodness.
If one person had not done what they had done, I wouldn't have a daughter. I don't know what I would do without her.
You listen to news and you listen to everything. The United States people don't care for nobody. And all of a sudden, those people that you didn't think would do it, that don't care about nobody but themselves, are getting out of the car, getting down in the mud, digging, pushing, and saving your kid. That's a big thing.
I don't feel like a hero. A little piece of me didn't want to see it, didn't want to be a part of it. I wanted to run, I wanted to get away, but I couldn't. Someone needed help, and I did what I had to do. Nice meeting you.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. You're very welcome. I'm just glad we're meeting under these circumstances. It really is great.
She died a couple of times, is what we understood. You don't want to kiss your daughter or your children goodbye in the morning, then get a call that you won't see them again. I just feel that one day I know I'll need someone, or someone I love will need someone, and I just hope someone, whether they know them or not, will help. And I was trying to stay in front of her so she couldn't see her, because she didn't. She didn't know like she'd be here. Please don't cry. Y'all don't know what we're
She is my little Nancy back. Her smiles and everything. And any other problems we got, I can live with it. People think that's a small thing to ask for, is a smile. But If you've seen her in that mud, snuff.
I appreciate it. I really do.